Hi everyone, I am Srinarayan Toshniwal. Along with me, I have Ms. Ruchika Sarda. We welcome you to Bizcon 2018. Today we have here with us Shri Ramesh Damani. How was the journey of a young lad from California, qualifying as an MBA from a California university, to being a businessman, the chairman, and a huge investment giant?
It's been extraordinary. Thank you so much for your very kind words. I came back from California, as you know, in 1989, and that time India was still a backwaters, still a third world country in many respects. Today we are the third largest economy in the world, at least in terms of purchasing power parity. We are joining the G20, which is a group of elite nations in the world. And there have been extraordinary opportunities along the way. And what these 30 years have taught me is that we need to be bullish on our country, because as many problems as we had over the last 20, 30 years, I think the opportunities in the next 30 years are even greater than what my generation had. So there's reason to be optimistic on this country. We are 125 crore strong people, united by a common constitution. I think there are great opportunities for young entrepreneurs, for consumers. So, you know, my first learning, if I would tell you, is that remain bullish on our country.
Okay. So the market has, from the past 1 year, we are observing the market to be a bit, and due to the upcoming elections, it might still be volatile. So what is your piece of advice to the retail investors?
Volatility is the nature of the beast. I think if the markets, as Mark Twain once famously said, that the market will fluctuate. So that's what it does. It fluctuates out there. But as I mentioned in my earlier answer, when I came in 1989 to the stock market, the index was 600. Today it's 36,000. So you had a 60x move in 30 years, despite any number of poor things happening in India, you know, starting with Kargil riots, Demon, GST, UP elections, whatever. So if you remain bullish, you made a lot of money in India. So my advice to retail investors is, rather than worry about these macro factors that you can't control, what happens, who wins the elections, Demon, whatever, you focus on buying great businesses at good valuations. I think that's the trick in the stock market, holding on to great businesses. So spend your time discovering good entrepreneurs, discovering values that are cheap, and investing for the long term, because that's how really wealth is created.
When would we know what is the right time to invest in the market, even for the younger generation?
This bull market started in 2013 when the index was, say, 14,000 or 15,000, that level. The second best time to invest is now. That must have been the best time. It doesn't matter. Like I said, the index moves up 16, 17% compounded every year. So you need to get onto the train. But I'm not advocating buying any share, buying any time. I'm looking, when you find a business that offers a compelling value proposition, it's like your mother told you how to shop, कि रुपए की चीज़ 8 आने में खरीदनी चाहिए अपने को. जब अपने को शेयर या कोई धंधा लग रहा है कि रुपए की चीज़ अपने को 8 आने में मिल रही है, 100 रुपए की चीज़ 40 रुपए में मिल रही है, तब हमको लेना चाहिए. बट उस टाइम तक मिले अपने को ढूंढता रहना चाहिए. और जब मिले, जब अपने को विश्वास के साथ और बहुत हिम्मत के साथ वो शेयर लेना चाहिए.
Okay. So there has been a recent circular of MCA wants the unlisted private equity stocks to be dematerialized form. So whether it is a concern or an advantage?
No, it would be an advantage. I don't think it's a disadvantage. It will be more transparent, it will be more transferable. So I think that will be okay.
But at the same time, isn't the compliance part is increasing in the cost for the private companies?
You know, it will increase a little bit, but it will create a much more liquid pool of market, so people can transfer the shares. A lot of the, for example, real estate is locked because it's not transferable, the title is not clear. So once you have clear explanation, title and transferability, I think the valuations will increase and the liquidity will improve, which of course will also enhance valuation. So I'm okay with it.
Okay. So coming on to valuations, recently there has been a proposal that the valuation, income tax, the CA, they cannot do the valuation. But whereas the Companies Act allows the CA to do a valuation.
You know, those are ongoing regulations. I'm not completely familiar with that. So I think you must ask someone like yourselves who are CAs and know that field better. These regulations keep changing, so I'm not completely aware of all these regulations.
We see you as a potential investor who even promotes a startup. What kind of a sector are you basically looking for a promotion or an investment?
I made a couple of investments recently in the private equity space, particularly with a couple of people in food processing, couple of people in you know, big data or stock analysis. He's based out of Calcutta. I think more than looking at the business, I want to bet on an entrepreneur in private equity. I want to believe that the entrepreneur has hustle, has passion, has dreams, because whether he makes it in the business he's telling me or some other business, I'm not sure. But I know people with dreams, people with hustle, people with passion will make it. So I'm more interested in batting with people with a lot of passion about what they're doing and a lot of integrity. It's very important that he have integrity also.
Okay. So currently when you see a nationwide, we have three pillars. One is the small retail stores, the other one would be the supermarket, and the third one e-commerce. So what is the role which each of them have to play?
Well, they all three have their role, but I think over time we'll move into a modern supermarket type of facility, because that's where the world has gone. Yeah, you need the neighborhood stores that caters to immediate convenience items. We'll have the mid-market big box stores where people will go and take the monthly shopping. It'll be like an outing for people. They get discounts, they get variety. And of course e-commerce for people who are too busy in their life. Women will be working outside the home. There'll be lack of domestic help. So people will require e-commerce. But I think all those three brands will coexist. They'll have to serve different needs. For example, you have in America the 7-Eleven stores, which is there in every neighborhood, catering to the immediate need. Suppose you ran out of a quart of milk, you don't go to the grocery store, you get it from there. Then you have the big box grocery chains like Albertsons, Ralph's, which are doing well, specialized retailers like Trader Joe's, Aldi's, which are doing well. And then you have people like Amazon who are making a push into the e-commerce market. My sense is all three will survive because there's need for all three formats in the market.
So, but coming onto the format, we have small retail stores.
They must offer a more limited SKUs or limited items rather than a broader selection, and more of a convenience purchase. Suppose for example, you want to have chips or brownies or a cold drink. Those stores can cater to it because everyone's not going to make a trip to the big box store every time you run out of, say, Coca-Cola. So I think the small will create a function. But I think for staples, for long-term items, tea, biscuits, we'll probably go to the big box format.
Okay. Sir, today the world is even shifting towards the e-commerce side, and we know DMart offers the best price. So what is the influence? We are still going into the brick and mortar stores?
Well, DMart has a strategy of not only big box but also e-commerce. We're trying it out in Bombay and then roll it out nationally. See, the problem with e-commerce is that an average basket of grocery runs about 1,500 rupees. That's what the average shopper will buy every time he goes to a grocery store. Say roughly 1,500 rupees, all right? Now, that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it's very bulky items because you might buy 5 pounds of sugar for it, you might buy 3 pounds of dal, tea, whatever. So to transport that from the grocery store to your home costs maybe 150 to 200 rupees, all right? So customers are not necessarily willing to pay the delivery charge because when people have tight budgets, 200 is an extraordinary amount to pay for delivery, right? So e-commerce will only be used by the higher end of the society who value convenience, where both people are working, where there is no domestic help, right? For most of the people, they will still stick to the traditional big box retailer because the last mile delivery is still a significantly high cost of the overall budget. So you're not going to pay 15% of your grocery bill for delivery. So until the grocery bill itself is inflated, I don't think e-commerce will, in my opinion again, attract more than the convenience, two household, no kids working type of parents. Well, I would like to think both because India is a nation of discounters. We like to buy things cheap, we like to get value out there, but we're increasingly conscious that there be a good quality product. Okay, we're not ready to put up with substandard products, and I think the entire modern trade is moving to that direction rather than trying to sell poor quality items by emphasizing that they can return their products, by emphasizing the quality of the products, but still offering discounts to MRP. That's what, for example, a lot of modern retailers are very crowded all the time because they offer that great combination of quality and value.
Maheshwaris and even to the other Maheshwaris in general?
Yeah, it's a great question, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak today at the Mahesh Sabha 2018, which was held at Bizcon, Hyderabad. My message is, a couple. First, the opportunities for the next 30 years are even more than we had in the last 30 years, and we had a tremendous set of opportunities. So I think you have reason to be optimistic. India is a democracy, India is a united, India is a country of 125 crore people who need lots of things as we aspire to a middle class life. So whether it's in infrastructure, whether it's in packaging, whether it's in schools, whether it's in vacations, tremendous opportunities for entrepreneurship. So opportunities are greater. Secondly, the way the world is transforming from an analog to a digital society, the tremendous opportunities that we didn't have in my generation. For example, media disruption, to go become a broadcaster of yourself. Look, Facebook, Google, all became great companies in the last 15 years. So the opportunity because of digitization are truly tremendous. So I would say that keep your integrity, okay? It's very important business to have integrity, and be an entrepreneur, let 1,000 flowers bloom. I think the opportunities will be tremendous and rewarding in a country like ours.
We attend a lot of networking like Bizcon 2018 or the likes. So in this event, we make a lot of contacts, but how do you keep up with your contacts, your connections and the networking after the events get over?
That's a great question. I don't really know how. I'll tell you, I have a group of young people that I mentored for the last so many years. And you have to do something that stands out, okay? You have to show humility, or you have to show a problem. I don't think someone you meet at a conference can give you the roadmap to life, saying, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. That's hard to do, because even the entrepreneurs that you meet are fairly busy people. They have very tight schedules, and they really don't know your background or where you're coming from. But there are ways in which you can stand out. Maybe address a concern that the entrepreneur has, or think about something that will make his life easier, or just try and very gently but persistently emailing him with something that he can help. So it is a matter of rejection. Sometimes you get rejected by 5 entrepreneurs who don't have the time, but the 6th one will be interested in you. So I think keep knocking at the doors. I think that's persistence has a lot of good benefits.